Hey guys, it's Slynk here. How you doing? We're here with Feedback Fridays, episode number 1. Thank you so much for submitting your songs to Feedback Fridays. We're going to be choosing a couple of songs at random here because obviously I can't do them all. I've got 169 nice emails of people submitting their songs for feedback, and we're going to choose a couple at random, and hopefully I can give you some tips and comments on what I think is good about it and what I think is bad about it and how I think you can improve the song. So let's get started here, I guess. Let's choose one from the first page here. Maybe, how about this one? Okay. Big fan. Thanks so much for the opportunity. Thank you, man. This is the first track I've done in a while, and I'm super stoked to be back on the horse. All right, let's check it out. Sophistical. Sounds kind of trappy. I like the little sound in there, that's cool. A very echoey, sort of strange sound happening. I like the textures in the background, all the weird sounds and stuff. I feel like the chords, I'm just going to pause for a sec. I feel like those chords that are sort of filtering in could maybe be a bit wider, and I would suggest looking into the Haas effect, where you use like a simple delay and then just bring the delay between the left and right channel right down to say 20 milliseconds, and what it happens is your brain hears the left channel and the right channel at a slight delay, and then your brain interprets that as stereo wideness. I'd maybe try like some stereo wideness on those chords, maybe a chorus or something as well to add some wideness, because they seem a little bit dry, but let's continue listening. I feel like the kick drum is sitting a little bit far back in the mix. Maybe be a good idea to like bring that closer to the front, like a little bit louder. It seems like it's kind of hidden. And I can't tell if there's any side chaining happening, but let's try and see if we can hear any side chain when the drums come in. Yeah, this is actually pretty nice. I definitely like this section here when it kicked in there. I'm not really hearing too much sidechain. If you are using sidechain, I think for this style of music, a bit more sidechain and if you don't know what sidechaining is, it's when you have a trigger set up so that when the kick hits, it dips the volume of other sounds. Like for example, the chords. It would sound really cool in this style of music to have the kick hit and then the chords sort of drop volume to let the kick, like to give enough room for the kick to be loud in the mix. Also, this is totally not drum and bass, dude. I would call this like future bass or trap or something like that. Not very drum and bassy. Yeah, more future. Some kids or something screaming in the background. It's kind of strange, but it's pretty cool. All right. You're kind of losing me in this part here where you're changing the bass notes. I think having some consistency with your with your melody and your bass line is somewhat important with your songwriting. At this point, when you started changing the bass notes and stuff like that, it sort of feels like you're just randomly pressing a key on the keyboard, and then, as a listener, I'm not expecting to hear that note, and it kind of makes me feel like something is wrong with the song. I don't know how to explain that, but I really liked this section here, like this section back here, and then I liked what you did in the beginning of this part here, but now we get into this stuff, it's kind of a bit strange. Bit of an identity crisis, I think, here. Is it a dark kind of dissonant song, or is it sort of a happy floaty song? And I think we've lost some consistency there, where like back here, this is quite nice, I like this part, but then over here it kind of feels like you're trying to do some dubsteppy wubs, and I don't think it really fits in context with the rest of the song. But anyway, let's continue listening. Let's just skip over to here. Filtering drums in. Yeah, I'm just starting to hear random keys being pressed with that one sound, and I'm not really hearing any consistency in terms of like a melody, a repeating melody and things like that. So hopefully you got something out of what I just said there. I'm kind of just rambling as comments sent to my brain when I'm listening to your music. But yeah, I mean, I really liked the first the intro was pretty cool. All the really strange textures in there were quite interesting. And then when this section hit in, that was quite nice. And then even this part here, the beginning of this part was pretty cool. It was a nice like change. And then what I think maybe what you should do is delete this part here and then just paste this part back in there, but add some variation to this part, if you know what I mean. So it's kind of like chorus, verse kind of thing, where this would be the chorus, and then this is the verse, and if you sort of made some variations inside of this block here and put it over there, I think that would make for a more like consistent song all the way through. And let's just have a quick listen to what happens at the end here. Yeah, okay. So it sounds like we go back to this part here, but with like a more drum and bassy kind of beat. Right, it's the same. Okay. Except with a drum and bass beat. Okay. And we're running out of time for a nice outro. And it just kind of ends. Okay, so maybe I would drop the drums out and do something similar to what you've done in the intro to sort of bring the song out to a finish. So yeah, hopefully I could help you out there. Wow, that took 8 minutes. This video is going to be long. Okay, let's choose another one at random. Let's go with I don't know. Maybe we'll choose. Let's choose one from this page. Let's go with James Morgan. Okay, here you go. Thank you, dude, for your submission. We've got a glitch funk song. Okay. Floaty chords, galaxies. Was not expecting a harmonica there, but I like that. Building drums. I'll turn my speakers up a bit. just pretty funky. So the first thing that I'm hearing that kind of is rubbing me the wrong way is the little talk boxy sound in the background kind of goes like word up, and the last note in that little phrase doesn't seem to be in the same key as the bass line. It's like boo 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 boo. Like I don't think that note is really in the same key. So maybe rethink the notes that you're rolling with on that little talkbox sound. Did you use my sample pack to write this? I think I recognize some of those sound, like the kicks and snares. I think I recognize them. I mean, I could be wrong, but by the way, random plug for my sample pack. You should check it out. I love the instruments and the guitar and everything like that. I think with a better mixdown and a better balance of all the elements, this could be a really kind of almost sounds like a K-Lab song. Yeah, I like the harmonica. Yeah. Okay, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, and I only think it doesn't sound as cool as it could be. I think all those same sounds, if this track was mixed down and not mastered but mixed down correctly, I think the listener would be able to hear all those sounds and be really impressed by them. But they seem like they're almost far back in the mix and they're behind a bunch of other stuff. So if you're not already using some side chaining in this song, or if you don't know what side chaining is, you should definitely look up how to side chain things. And I think like a big kick and big snare, although I think the kicks and snares from my sample pack, but I could be wrong. I think the reason why they sound a little bit weak is because they're not punching through and creating space, like tearing a hole in the spectrum by dropping the volume of everything else that's happening and then playing the kick and snare and then everything else comes back in kind of thing. I think that's why they sound weak. And the bass sounds, I think they just need to be louder. I mean, not to say just go into Ableton and turn them up, but you need to think of it's hard to comment without actually seeing how this is being mixed down, but you need to think of an effective way to make those sounds really come out. And I remember like when I used to write music when I was starting out that I had some shitty speakers and I really just could not hear what was happening, and it was more of a guessing game. And I feel like this person here, Rexspin, might benefit, if they haven't already, might benefit a lot from spending a bit of money on some decent speakers, monitors in the studio, so they can really hear what's going on. And then of course, put in someone else's song that sounds really nice that you like in Ableton, and then listening to your song and then listening to the other person's song and just like comparing the differences between how much treble is in their song and how crispy everything sounds and how punchy the drums are, and really just like have a goal or a reference track to like aim for, I think will help you mix down the song a little bit better. But I mean, all the sounds and stuff in there are pretty cool. Let's keep listening. Yeah, that boo, boo, boo. That last note is off, I think. It needs to be boo, boo, boo. Like a couple of semitones down or something. I like that sound though, like the actual sound is cool. Oh, dude, I know those drums. I know you've used it for my sample pack. I know those drums. Confirmed. That drum roll right there, I think you've got like a groove happening, like a bit of swing with the rest of the song. It's like boom, ding, 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 and it's like a real like head nodder. But then that drum roll comes in, and it's like a straight beat. It's like da 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 instead of like da 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 da. You know what I mean? So maybe go into the warping of that drum roll and try and give it the same groove as the rest of your track. Or just if you're using Ableton and you're using the groove pool, maybe you forgot to apply the groove to that sample, but let's continue listening. We'll just skip over a bit and see what happens in the end here. I think I haven't really talked about like the structure, but I think I've given you enough comments to get started on improving this. But overall, I think it's like a really good shot at a glitch funk song. So good job, man. Let's check out the end here. All right, so this sort of just sounds like it's been copied and pasted from over here. And so I'll just talk really quickly about like the structure of the song. I think when you're writing a song, I think you really need to think about how long it takes you to get your point across. You know, I feel like 4 minutes. I feel like you could have gotten your point across with this song, and everything that happens in this song in about 2 minutes. And I think you've sort of copied and pasted some pieces over to make it longer into a 4-minute song so that you could call it a completed track. But really what I think you should do is, just think about, like, are you getting your point across, or are you just like hammering away at the same point and not really adding like more stuff to it, I suppose. It's a fine line, but personally I think it's a bit long, although 4 minutes is like a standard sort of song length. So I think things just kind of happen the same. I was pretty like stoked about this song, aside from the mixdown, up until about this point here, and then it was like more of the same stuff that we'd already heard in the first half. So I would chop the end of this song off and create an outro, and then I'd maybe change this section here to be, continue writing and write more bass lines and put some variation in there. I think it would be cool. Okay, we might have time to do one or two more. Let's see how we go here. What are we on, the first page? Wait a minute. I just got another email. So someone just sent me this one while I was recording. Let's do that one. Fuck it. Okay, Minnie. Hope you'll listen to my song. Well, here we go. Okay. Oh, nice piano chords. Electronic. I think we've got a house song here. The anticipation. It's a lot of like anticipation being built here. Okay, I'm just going to pause here for a sec. I think, again, you guys all need to learn how to sidechain properly. In this song, I can hear like the chords going meh, meh, yeah, 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 kind of thing. Like they are being sidechained, but they're being sidechained to like a 4/4 beat, Meanwhile, in the background, the drums are going dung 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 dung, and they're not really the side chain or pseudo side chain is not really matching up with the drums. And I think it would be better if mini Mertens actually side change the chords to the drums. So every time the kick hits, the chords drop down in volume and then rise again after the kick has been played. So it would kind of be like wah, blah, 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 kind of thing. I think that would sound better. Let's continue listening. I like the chords, and I like the melody, and all the musical notes that you've chosen are really quite nice. I think up until here, it still felt like the intro. I know we had a lot of building, but it didn't really feel like it dropped right there. So I still felt like we were in the intro all the way up to here. And then when it hit to this point, that's cool. You've like stripped some elements back to like change things up. But let's actually listen back to here. Okay, so right there is the drop. And I think maybe what you need to do to make that drop a bit better is how could you make that drop sound bigger? Because you've already got a riser and you've already sort of got like an impact sound like and a but I think maybe you need to hold back on more elements, like hold back on some of those elements before you drop them in here. Like the chords, maybe like don't open the filter up all the way, or make the filter in the drop actually make the chords kind of like stutter or something in the drop instead of just being really long and legato. Maybe make them more staccato so it's more like dun 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 dun. Like that might be cool with the chords instead of just having them like wow 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 like floating along, because that kind of legato-y sort of sound is more of a breakdown-y kind of style, or like an intro kind of style to use your chords in a legato style like that. Maybe more staccato stuff in the drop might make that feel a bit more hype. Let's go over to here again. Yeah, I think you need to use more staccato notes. Staccato just means like short stabby notes, by the way, if you don't know. See, this is a nice breakdown here. I like this. And I think if you had like stabby notes over here, this would feel like very floaty, and people on the dance floor would be like hugging each other, and then when the drop comes, it would be like time to party, and everyone would like break the hug and start jamming. All right, this is a nice like build up. I like this. Something's about to happen. It's gonna be crazy. I think that was the perfect spot for a drum roll, like rise, and then like kind of thing, like a little like drum roll or something would be cool there. I think in general, like if you sidechain your drums to the chords, like I was saying before, I think it would cut through the mix more and really make your drums sound better, because they do sound a little bit weak at the moment. The kick is very far back in the mix. I can almost barely hear it. And the chords and melodies are like right in my face. So yeah, maybe tweak the mix down a little bit there. Oh, there's a couple of staccato notes. Okay. And then we're sort of coming to an end here. Obviously this song is still being worked on because it's only a short one, but pretty decent job. I think your strongest points are definitely the melodies and chords and musical theory that you've got going on there. So keep it up, man. Good job. All right, let's see if we got time for one more. This is already a pretty long video, but I can't just do. How many songs have I done? 3. Let's do one more here. Let's see here. What page are we on? Let's go to the first page again. Maybe we'll choose one from like the first couple that we got sent here. Actually, I know I listened to one of these songs before and it was really cool. This guy. Yeah, this guy. I said, I'm totally going to put this song in the video because it was really cool. Yeah, he sent me his song and then I was like, whoa, this is sick. I'm going to put this in my song, in my video. And he said it's 100% original song. So, check this one out. I actually don't really have much feedback for this one because it's really dope. So he put it up just recently, like 23 days ago. And like, honestly, I would play this song in my sets. This dude's 15 years old, apparently, or that's what it says on his profile. Hear the sidechain in there? So when the white noise is going, hang on a minute. Every time that kick hits, the white noise, that psh in the background is like dropping away and then coming in again. And same with like some of the other elements. And it really makes the drums sound like bigger and more in your face and intense and just good. So he's got this first section that kind of like is just straight up kind of like a little bit repetitionous. I'm just going to make up words. It repeats a little bit. So as a listener, I can kind of be like, oh yeah, I kind of like heard this before. So I kind of like know what's going to happen. And then like after he's done that for like 8 bars or whatever it is, you know, one phrase worth, one chunk worth, he goes into a very, very similar section, but it's just slightly changed. There's a bit of variance. And it keeps me listening on like, oh, this is kind of the same, but it's new. You know, now it's new. It's good. And notice he's dropped out the melody, like the little twinklies at the top. He's taken them away to leave room and to direct your attention more to the bass line. Because that's where the crazy shit's going on right now. This is, I'm guessing, a straight copy paste from here to there. There might be some variations with the melody, but since so much time has passed and we've built up again to it, it sounds fresh again. So as a listener, I just want to listen again. Like that to me is like the coolest part of the song. And you know, you don't want to give the listeners too much of that awesome part of the song because it's going to want to make them listen to the song again after it's finished because they want to hear that elusive cool part in the song, you know. Yeah, this is cool. It's like a stripped back version of this first part here, and it looks like we're leading into the outro. Okay, I'm just gonna skip ahead. Yeah, like a really cute outro there. Oh, the DJs are gonna hate you for doing that. The tempo slows down. All the DJs are going to be like, oh, why? They're going to try and mix on the outro and it's just going to change tempos. But from a listener's point of view, it's a great song. I really don't have any comments to make to improve that, except for maybe changing, like maybe if you were to do another song, like I would just leave the song how it is, but next time you do a song that's in the same style, I would instead of copy pasting this over to here, like copy paste it, but then change some of the sounds. So, you know, put like little random slices of silence or a random drum fill or just something like little details will really engage the listener. But yeah, great job, man. That's a killer song. All right. So sorry if I didn't get to your song, but we'll do another video next week. So thanks for watching, and hopefully you learned something, even if I didn't give you feedback on your particular song. Maybe you still learned something from other people's songs, and you can apply them to your own songs. Fingers crossed I don't get copyright flags for this video, but oh yeah, and that's another thing I wanted to say is if you are submitting the song to Feedback Fridays, by the way, I'll put the link up here. I mean the email that you want to send it to up here. If you are going to submit a song, please don't submit any songs with any copyrighted samples, like no Snoop D-O-double-G samples, or no Beastie Boys lyrics or anything like that. Just 100% original songs, no bootlegs or remixes, okay? And then I can continue doing this without getting banned on YouTube. Alright, thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.